Welcome to Sheikh Hamdan Fazza's official channel, where words meet emotion and love transcends boundaries. Today's heartfelt reflection is a story of courage, vulnerability, and the kind of love that defies silence. My love, I risked everything to say this, isn't just a confession, it's the beating pulse of a soul that chose truth over comfort. As Sheikh Hamdan steps forward to reveal what many never dared to speak, this isn't just about royal matters, it's about human hearts, fragile and fearless. My love, I risked everything to say this, not because I had to, but because I could no longer bear the weight of silence. The crown I wear means little when my heart longs for you in secret chambers of my soul. I was raised in duty, shaped by tradition, molded by expectation, but love is the one command I cannot obey without truth. In you, I saw a world far more beautiful than the one I was born into. Every glance you gave me, even when surrounded by crowds, felt like a secret prayer answered. But I feared what speaking your name might cost me. To love you openly meant facing a storm not just of people, but of principles, history, lineage. Yet I reached a point where loving you in the shadows felt more painful than losing everything in the light. There were nights I stood by the window of my palace, wondering if you heard my heartbeat from across the silence. I sent 1,000 poems into the night, each one disguised in formal speech, hoping you would read between the lines. I spoke to the stars, because they could not judge me. I whispered to the wind, because it knew my longing without demanding explanation. What does a prince know of sacrifice? They say I have everything. But I'd trade every jewel for a moment where I could hold your hand without consequence. My love, I have faced camels in the desert, climbed mountains in Hada, but nothing tested my courage like standing before my family, my people, and admitting, I love someone they never expected. You see, I didn't just risk a reputation. I risked heritage, royal dignity, centuries of guarded bloodlines, all for something intangible, a connection. A feeling. A soul that met mine with no regard for royalty or riches. And in that surrender, I found the truest version of myself. You taught me that vulnerability isn't weakness, it's the highest form of strength. I remember the first time you touched my heart, not with your hands, but with your understanding. You listened, not as a subject listens to a sheikh, but as a lover listens to the silence behind the words. That moment changed me. It made me realize that life without truth is merely a parade, and I was tired of waving from behind the curtain. The moment I decided to tell you, I imagined every possible outcome. Would you reject me, fearing the consequences? Would you cry, knowing our path would be difficult? Or would you do what you always do, smile through the fear and take my hand anyway? I needed to find out. Because love, true love, is worth losing comfort, titles, and even thrones. They warned me. They said I would destroy the image we had spent years building. But I told them, what is an image if it doesn't reflect the truth? I'd rather stand before the world flawed but free than locked behind golden gates, my heart chained. And so, I speak now, openly. My love, I risked everything to say this, I choose you. When I wrote you that letter, I didn't seal it with wax but with prayer. A prayer that you would know the depth of what I feel. That the words, though royal in tone, carried a yearning so raw, even empires could not deny it. I didn't ask for permission. I simply followed the call of my soul. This isn't a fairy tale. It's not the story people expect from a prince. But it is real. And in its realness, it is beautiful. I risked rejection, scandal, tradition, and yet, I have never felt more alive. Because to live without love is to breathe without meaning. And to love you, even in danger, is to finally be who I was born to be. So, if the world turns against me, let it. If the kingdom questions me, let them. But let no one say I did not love with all I had. Let history record not just my victories, but the moment I chose the truth over illusion. My love, I risked everything to say this, because loving you is the only truth I have ever fully owned. You are not a choice. I did not pick you like one picks a flower. You are the heartbeat I never knew was mine. You are the calm in the noise, the truth in a world full of expectations. I do not regret what I've said. I only regret not saying it sooner. If my words tremble, it's only because my heart is finally free. And now, I stand here before you and before the world, not as the crown prince, but as a man in love. I risked everything, yes. But in doing so, I found something no kingdom could ever give me. I found us. And that, my love, is the greatest reward of all. My love, after all the truths I've laid bare, there is still more my soul aches to confess. Because love doesn't end with a single declaration. It grows, it evolves, and it dares to dream of a future that once felt impossible. Every moment since I risked everything to speak these words has felt like I'm stepping into uncharted territory. Yet with you, even the unknown feels like home. You have become the axis of my inner world, the silence that soothes the storm within me. Even the walls of my heritage seem softer now that you know. The hallways echo differently. My footsteps no longer feel like they lead to a destiny chosen by others, but rather to one I have finally chosen for myself. I've realized that no amount of royal gold can match the wealth I feel when you smile at me with trust, with belief, with hope. That is where my true kingdom begins, in your heart. There have been whispers behind my back, conversations spoken in codes, advisors exchanging glances they think I don't notice. But I let them talk. Let them speculate. Let them try to untangle the mystery of a prince who followed his heart instead of the crown. They do not know that love like ours doesn't need their permission. It only needs our promise. I think often of what our life could be: quiet mornings before the world stirs, coffee shared not in luxury but in laughter, walks through the dunes where we leave no footprints but carry memories in our minds. I don't dream of parades anymore. I dream of hearing your voice every night before I sleep. That is the majesty I seek now, raw, real, and radiant in its simplicity. You must know, I didn't come to this moment unscathed. I wrestled with fear, with loyalty, with years of conditioning. But in the end, love doesn't negotiate, it liberates.